Welcome to the 2023 SUSE CP Conference, the Edge of Opportunity podcast from St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. The Southeastern United States Canadian Provinces, or SUSE CP Alliance, was established in 2007 to formally advance a common interest in enhancing economic ties between the two regions. The Alliance is a strategic trade and investment-focused partnership between 6 southeastern U.S. states and 6 Canadian provinces. This year's conference is focused on opportunities in the blue and green economies.
And welcome back to the SUSE CP podcast. I tell you, there's a lot of great things happening here. I'm Alan Dale. With me, as always, my good buddy Jerry Carew. We are Gale Force Winds, and I can tell you the conversations that are happening in and around this conference are fantastic. And a lot of it hinges on that business-to-business component, and you're the man behind it.
Yeah.
So tell me all about what you do.
Yeah, so we've been working with SUSE since the beginning. Originally, it was Sonny Perdue and Chirac from Quebec. Created this relationship, and when they did it, they said, we want to focus on small and medium-sized businesses. The trade between our two countries is so great, but we don't always get the small and medium-sized guys taking advantage of it. So they started that, and the first business-to-business meetings were actually held here in Newfoundland.
Really?
And
what year would that have been?
We're going back about 14 years now, and they focused on ocean tech, which really hadn't been defined as a sector yet. And from that, white papers afterwards were developed in the Canadian consulate, and people started focusing more on it as a sector and bringing them up as a defined cluster. So that was really exciting from that and had some really good positive energy. And then after that, we went down to Mississippi, and then we went, I think, to New Brunswick, and we've been going back and forth now all these years. And we're finally back in Newfoundland, and it's great. It's great to be back. And what we do is we work with the companies, and they tell us what their overview of their company is and their objectives. After the conference has set out some themes, people come together, and then we try to work with them on finding companies they want to meet, and they select companies they meet, and then they get to have a meeting with them. And the other thing that's kind of unique about this conference is we have what we call anchors. These are larger companies. Today we have the Coca-Cola company here, and they're looking for business opportunities from companies all over the region, both regions, and people are meeting with them and telling how they can be involved with Coca-Cola. Or right now we have Pennacon is here, and they're meeting with everybody. They're taking anyone who is coming in, and they're saying, what can we do? And is there a relationship, and is there anything positive that you have that we could be working with? So it's kind of exciting that way.
To facilitate a meeting between an SME and a company like Coke, I mean, it would take you a long time to get in the door, right?
It is.
And here we are now.
Right, and it's their second year doing it. And they said, what's so great about this conference? And he does these types of things on a regular basis. He goes, the quality. He goes, people come with actually something to do and have the experience and the know-how to actually work with a company like Coca-Cola.
Wow.
And he's just so impressed with the quality and the preparation. When you come in, you have a meeting schedule, people show up, and they continue on. And so they get 30 minutes to talk to them. And then they also get to be at the receptions and network at the meals, so they can follow up on that conversation and build up that personal relationship. So it's a really unique opportunity.
How's the one going for you for 2023? Is it everything that you expected it would be?
I think it's been great. I mean, we ended up, it was a slow start, and we ended up with a great component of companies, over 60. I think they result in over 400 meetings.
Wow.
And we're still scheduling meetings as people have been asking for them. And so, we have to have that flexibility to work with people, and people obviously end up getting pulled away for something else, but we just kind of keep pushing through and getting everyone lined up and happy.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts for you, not only before the conference, but actually in the moment.
In the moment.
Yeah.
We have 4 people working on the ground, working with people, making sure the meetings are taking place. If someone's missing, tracking them down, getting them back, and keeping it going.
Amazing.
And the schedule's always changing, so they have a live link and they can see it on their phone and update themselves at any time.
How many meetings are ongoing at any given moment out in that room?
Today I think we're doing, so what we call a meeting, so there's 20 tables, 40 meetings, because we usually count 1-to-1, right? So if you're meeting Coke and yourself, that would be 2 meetings. So, yeah.
And now, Biloxi, Mississippi in 2024.
Yes.
Tell me what's exciting about that.
So that's going to be focused on advanced manufacturing and the blue economy. And that'll be really great. They have a strong history on both of those components. Actually, Oceans is another conference that's being hosted there in a month, I believe, September. And I think a number of companies from Atlantic Canada are coming down. They have a booth. So that's quite exciting. So they'll be focused on that. Ingalls Shipbuilding is there. They have some other really dynamic people there. So I think that'll be great. And a number of the Mississippi delegations here this year. So we have the Mississippi Ports Authorities here. We have the Port of Pascagoula. We have some universities. So that's a good showing here too.
Yeah.
100%. A lot of folks here from Mississippi pretty excited to bring the thing back home as well. So
Yes.
we're certainly looking forward to being a part of that as well. Listen, thanks very much for what you do for Sioux CP, and great story about the Ocean Supercluster. I didn't know the origins went back to Sioux CP, but it makes perfect sense now.
Thank you very much. It's great talking to you guys today.
You're doing great work.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Douglas.
Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to the 2023 SUSE CP Conference, the Edge of Opportunity podcast from St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. The 2024 conference is taking place in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we look forward to seeing you there.